Pop Culture Roulette for all your pop culture needs. Hi, I'm Nicholas.
We're not America's podcast today? All right.
No, not today.
All right, well, I'm Justin.
I'm Jeremy.
Should we actually admit where we all are right now, or are we trying to keep that a secret?
I guess I'm okay with admitting this.
We're actually in the same room.
Oh my
We're
god.
in studio.
For the first time in... Oh, jeez. a long time.
Couple
Yeah.
years. First time we're all in the same room doing a podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if you don't include the Super Bowls, but
Well, that's why I said
Yeah.
doing a podcast.
Yeah.
doing the podcast, yeah. So, how was your week?
It was good. Pretty long, actually.
Yeah, it was long. Had 2 days off in a row. That was nice. Got caught up on some TV shows and some movies, and yeah, it was nice. Good time to relax.
Yeah. I watched some stuff too. I caught up on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't have a chance to watch The Falcon and Winter Soldier, so we'll have to talk about that next week.
All right.
I was able to hammer through all of WandaVision,
Oh.
so I'm caught up on that. Done with that, I guess.
So, how many weeks do we give people of spoiler-free WandaVision before we're like, hey, now we can just spoil it, deal with it? If you haven't watched it yet, it's too late for you.
I mean, if you go by our old stuff right away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we should
All right,
spoil it right
let's
now.
spoil
Yeah.
it right now then. So, spoiler alerts. We're going to talk about WandaVision. I enjoyed it immensely. I thought it was really well done.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome.
It was a little slow at first for me, the first couple episodes, and then I thought it really picked up and found its footing.
I really enjoyed the sitcom stuff they did early on, even.
I thought that episode where they did Malcolm in the Middle
Yeah.
was damn near perfect. Like just the catching the tone of Malcolm in the Middle, like the kid actors picking up the cadence and the tone of the show. Like,
Yeah. It was pretty spot on. Yeah.
Yeah, that was close to like, what, 6, 7 episodes in?
Yeah.
That wasn't in the first 3.
It was pretty far in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked up on the Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, like
Mhm.
Honeymooners, like all that stuff.
Yeah, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it was
easy
to watch because most of the episodes were only half hour. I think the longest one was 45 minutes.
Yeah, something like 46-ish.
Yeah. So, and that was like the last one. You know?
Yeah.
Good. I think that's about how long the Falcon and Winter Soldier is.
Yeah. That's
46,
about right.
47 minutes for the first episode.
But it made me really happy to, at the end of the series, because all the fans kept saying, oh, Mephisto is going to do this, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and none of it happened. That made me so happy to make all of these just, basement dwelling nerds.
Oh no! Fuck! This is amateur hour.
That's fine.
to make them mad. I was reading an interview with the director where they're like, we don't even know where this Mephisto rumor came from because, like, we don't even know who he is in the world of comic books. Like, we never, that was never a character on our board to bring in. Like,
So this was just some random theory that
it was
thrown out?
it was fan theory that
They wanted to make true.
that they wanted to make true, and for whatever reason there was something in the trailer that made fans think of this or that, and so they just ran with it, and the fans talked about it so much that the regular zine sites were like, oh yeah, that's what's going to happen, and it wasn't, because fans need to understand that your theory is not what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You might get right occasionally, but your theory is just your theory. You need to let what is going to happen.
If I was like a writer or something like that, and I'm reading all these fan theories, I'm gonna be like, that's what I'm not gonna do.
Just to spite them.
Yeah, just to make them angry.
Fuck these nerds.
I was gonna do that, but not no more.
Yeah.
I think that happened a couple times with Lost. You know, because Lost was in the early days of the internet, and fans were getting on and really talking about that show, and I think there were a couple times where writers were like, that's actually better than what we were gonna do. And then there were other times where like, well, you've ruined it because you talked about it, so we're not going to do that now.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah. What the hell's with these lights? They're possessed, man.
It's the ghosts.
Oh,
Ghost of podcast past.
I'm trapped in here. For the people listening at home, we've got these studio lights that we're trying out today, and they just keep doing their own thing.
Yeah.
I bet it's that spider over there turning the lights on.
He forgot about it.
Yeah, I was like all lulled into a sense of
security. So we're just pushing like a button. Boop, boop.
I did hear that spiders know how to use chainsaws.
Oh,
little mini ones or full size chainsaws?
Does it matter?
It might be adorable if it's a tiny chainsaw. I actually might be less afraid of that spider.
Oh, you're so cute.
So I mean, obviously, I think the big line that's the takeaway from WandaVision is, what is grief but not love persevering? I mean,
yeah.
I think that was basically the entire show.
Yeah.
I do have to take some umbrage with something that Brian Quinn said on Tell 'Em Steve Dave.
Yeah.
Because he clearly did not pay attention to the show as much as he said he did, because he's like, oh, his thing was, why was the one guy whose name escapes me right now, why was he the bad guy? All he was trying to do was force Wanda to like follow the rules and the laws.
Oh, okay.
And
yeah.
it's like,
yeah.
okay, well, first off, he was breaking the law by trying to bring Vision back to life.
Yeah.
And he directly caused the mental breakdown, the grief, the anguish that started Wanda down the path of what she did. Now, what she did, was that okay? No, that's not. I mean, she did kind of kidnap an entire town and force them into whatever world she lived in.
It's a pretty big no-no.
Yeah, don't do that.
But he was trying to do what he was trying to do to keep his crime from ever reaching the light of day. So, pay attention to the show if you're going to have a big opinion where you're not going to be right.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they tackled the subject of grief actually pretty well in this series in general.
Yeah.
There was a couple times, like toward the last couple episodes, maybe like the last 3 episodes, where there was some really, really profound lines. I know. Did you say people laughed at that line?
No, they've turned it in. Not laugh. They've kind of turned it into a meme.
Oh, okay.
It was such a profound line and such a big thing to come out of something like a comic book show.
Yeah.
And people have kind of just run with it and kind of turned it into a joke. And it's like, man, you guys really are ruining what could be maybe one of the most profound things that Marvel has said in any of their movies or TV shows. That one line, because I've never thought of grief that way before.
Yeah, it's an interesting perspective for sure. But overall, the series, I think it kicks ass. I mean, I don't know what else. So that what were people kind of expecting for the end that made them so mad?
I think they were expecting somebody. Well, I think they were expecting a big bad to show up. Or to kind of, and there never was. The big bad was Wanda. Yeah, she was her own bad guy. I mean, grief was and I think that's where people had a hard time with it, because the bad guy of the show was
a good guy.
Well, yeah, it was a good guy, but it was a concept.
Yeah,
it wasn't an actual, as much as Agatha Harkness was, I guess, the person that you can kind of say is the bad guy. She wasn't really. She was only there to kind of stop the Red Witch, the Scarlet Witch, but B, kind of take all that power in for herself. So she wasn't
Yeah.
even really the bad guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it was just kind of like she just happened to. Now, that was the one thing that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Maybe one of you guys could, and since you just binged it, did she just happen to be in that town in New Jersey, or did she like feel that it was happening and ran to that town and got into the bubble?
I don't think they ever explained that.
Yeah, I don't recall them ever. Like,
Yeah, they
touching
never
on
went into
that.
detail on why she was there.
Yeah. Were you surprised by that reveal? Or, like, as a comic reader, did you know, like, what was going to happen?
I didn't know who that was. I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised because that was the one thing that the fans got right.
Uh-huh.
That Agnes was going to be Agatha Harkness.
Oh, they did predict
Yeah,
that
they
earlier?
will, and I think that was one of those, like, from the trailer, like, they kind of just, that was the one thing they did get right.
Oh, okay.
And But I also think that Marvel kind of airmailed, not airmailed,
Mhm.
but, kind of just, I guess airmailed would be the right thing.
Yeah, that works.
The right, kind of said, hey, this is, but I mean, I think people just have gotten so used to there being, a bad guy, and are so used to the, all the Marvel movies, there being one or two bad guys. Like, obviously they did all the movies leading up to Thanos, but each one had a bad guy.
Yeah.
And this one didn't really have that.
I think I would get old if it was just always like, we have to have this.
there's always a villain fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and I think
Villain is grief in this one.
And I think a villain like Mephisto is too big to waste on an 8-episode show.
Yeah, yeah.
So you'd either have to figure out how to take that show and then use that villain later on,
Mm-hmm.
or you're just wasting who could be one of the most powerful bad guys. Because you've already done Thanos, so obviously you either have to wait a long time to bring him back around.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you're left with what, Galactus, Annihilus, and then if you wasted Mephisto.
As far as I'm concerned, the second guy you just named is bottom of the barrel in my world, because I don't even know who that is.
Once Fantastic Four gets up and going, I think Annihilus will be. Well, that might be more of an X-Men thing.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
yeah, he's a big one. But Galactus is coming at some point.
Uh-huh.
That'll
be cool. That'll be cool.
So, and I think, and people are so desperate to be right and make their theory right.
Mm-hmm.
When, she goes, I know an aerospace engineer. They all went, oh, Reed Richards. It's going to be Reed Richards. And I was like, come on. Again, they're not going to introduce the Fantastic Four in WandaVision. Like, that's getting introduced either in its own movie or in, like, Spider-Man. Like, they're not gonna pull out one of the big teams of Marvel in.
Yeah, it just wouldn't make any sense for them to do that. But I don't know. I mean, I thought that was just really cool what they did, though. They did so many different things. Like, I love to see that evolution of the sitcoms. Now, like, the more I thought about it and let it digest, like, it was like I haven't seen Marvel really do anything quite close to that at all.
I don't really see a lot of people doing anything.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah. So it's got the stamp of approval for all three of us?
Yeah, now that I've seen it.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Stamp of approval.
I also, over the course of the couple of days I had off, well, not even a couple of days, the one day, I watched the Snyder Cut.
Did you?
I watched the whole thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Does it feel like 4 hours and 2 minutes?
Not really. They have it down in like parts. So it'll be like part 1. I don't even remember what part 1's called. Something. So they do like part 1, part 2, part 3. So if you want to watch by parts, you don't watch the whole thing at once.
Okay. Well,
I just sat down and watched the entire 4-hour movie.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to. Maybe tonight. I don't know.
I liked it.
Okay.
I think it's better than the other one, for sure. They do more with each character. So it's not just, here's a guy, here's a guy, here's a guy.
But see, here's the thing. Like, we talked about this many times, but I know we talked about it recently. Snyder is a great visual director, so I expect the movie to look awesome. But he's not real good when it comes to character development.
They don't spend a whole lot of time being like, this is why Barry is the Flash. They don't go over like his backstory.
Well, you don't have time to do all of that.
So it's just like, here's this kid, here's this guy. But I like this one. Like, it has, you see more of Doomsday. I feel like Steppenwolf's got a bigger part.
Does it fix or not fix? Is it in the same realm of Batman v Superman, or is it as kind of lame?
I thought I'd put it pretty close to the same.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't as lame as, like, I went in thinking, I was like, all right, well, this isn't going to be good. But it kept my attention, for one, which is always, good, because my attention span's not very good. But it kept that. It had some, like, enjoyable moments. It has funny parts, and it's, deeper parts. But I actually liked it. I really did. Even if it was 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Is it the longest movie that you've ever seen?
Probably, since, what other movies are longer than that?
I can't think of it.
I can't.
Or was close to that, even.
Yeah. Watchmen, that was like 3. Right?
Yeah, I don't think that was much. I know the Lord of the Rings movies were in the 3 range, but...
The extended versions, for sure, were pretty long.
Yeah, like, even with... I don't know how well you remember the first one. The original? What are we calling it?
The Whedon cut?
Yeah.
I went and saw it in the theaters, and I remember walking out going, it wasn't bad. Alright, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't, like, very good either. Like, it was what it was. I remember walking out because Jess and I went and saw it at the theater in Burlington. And we walked out, got in the car, and she goes, I would have rather watched any other Marvel movie. Like, even the one that...
Any other Marvel movie compared to this DC movie.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Like, and she says that almost every time I make her watch a
superhero thing?
Well, anytime I make her watch a DC movie, she... It's like Wonder Woman 2. Like, that was so bad. Like, and all we could do is, like, even if we watched, like, the worst, and I use that in quotation, because Age of Ultron is not bad, but, of the Marvel movies that we've seen so far, that would probably be, like, one of the lower ones.
I'd have to put, like, Iron Man... Was it 3? 2?
No. Maybe 2.
There's 2 with Whiplash.
Yeah.
I'd put 2 in there.
That's fair.
That's fair, yeah. But to call them bad movies would be unfair to them, because they're not bad, they're just not as good as
the other amazing work.
Other ones. And so far, outside of maybe Shazam, like, every DC movie has been, and Aquaman has been like, it's okay.
It's not bad, but it's like not, oh my god, this is amazing.
But I'd still rather watch Thor Dark World,
True, yeah. What'd you think of the first Wonder Woman?
I liked that one.
Yeah.
I thought that one was really good.
Yeah, you didn't see it yet.
I didn't see that one.
I thought it was good, but I haven't seen the second one, so I'm kind of...
I kept seeing stuff for the second one. Like, at work, I would just see WW84.
Yeah.
And every time I see that, I think World War.
Yeah.
I was like, what is World War 84? What is this new thing?
Well, let's see, with like Zack Snyder, like, Man of Steel was okay. I just kept waiting for it to get better, and then it was over. And then Batman v Superman, I kept waiting for it to get better, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Like, they have some other characters in there. I don't remember if they were in the Whedon one.
Now,
because I don't really remember that one too much.
Yeah, do you think that if this is successful, we'll get the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad?
Yeah, I think they will. Especially depending also how many people sit down and watch this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I know I watched it today. What was that, March 18th?
So Thursday?
It's Thursday when it came out?
Yeah,
So after work Thursday, I went home and I watched a 4-hour movie. So, I'm like, it's out? I can watch it. And I guess there's 2 different versions of it that were released. They did a black and white version and then the colored version.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if they're both on HBO or not.
I don't truly understand why I would watch a 4-hour version of the same movie in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with all the action and explosions. Are they going to do that in black and white?
Yeah, what does that really add?
Yeah.
I don't.
Although, what was it, Logan? They did that one in black and white?
Yeah.
That one wasn't bad.
You watched the black and
I
white?
watched both, yeah.
Yeah. Huh. I heard the black and white Mad Max was good. The Chrome and whatever. Yeah. But I haven't seen any of that.
The noir version or whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
but
my knees.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was like, you know what, I want to watch this. So I watched, within this week, I watched all of WandaVision. Then I watched all of the Justice League movie, and then I watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I can't wait
I
to
watched
talk about
so
that.
much superhero stuff in this since Tuesday.
I have stayed with watching Star Wars Clone Wars, old episodes of Scrubs, and playing Lego DC Supervillains. So, as much as I am supposedly the leader of this podcast, I do no current pop culture things at all.
Your status is in jeopardy.
It is. I might be losing to Justin.
Holy crap. All right. There's a new boss in town now. But, yeah, I don't know why. I was like, because I'm just like, I really want to watch that movie.
I don't know how. So, there's a breaking update. This is, like, literally breaking, so you're going to hear about it. Virginia Commonwealth, VCU, returned a positive test for COVID-19, so they've been eliminated from the tournament in Oregon, automatically moved to the second round. I don't know how I feel about that. Like,
that's kind of...
Because it was one player?
If it's only one player, like, that's...
You can play without him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
that's... I don't know.
Why wouldn't they just consider that like an injury or something?
Yeah, that to me is some questionable ruling.
Yeah.
But, again, it's breaking, so we'll have to find out. If it's multiple players on the team, but if it's one guy, that's garbage.
It's definitely going to bust some people's brackets.
I doubt it.
And speaking of brackets, Jeremy.
Oh wow, that was beautiful. Yeah, I put together in honor of March Madness. I put together a bracket of our own here.
Ooh, wow, bracket.
The streaming service showdown. I can't. The camera can't pick up our little print off.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right.
All right.
So what I did here was I ranked 12 streaming services.
What were your criteria for ranking
Well, it was a little bit of personal preference, a little bit of internet sleuthing. Well, fuck that light, man. You pay for a product on Amazon.
So personal biased, internet biased.
Yeah, a little mix of both. I used a little mathematical equation in my head, and I don't want to bore you with the details of how I came up with everything.
That's fair. Okay.
And so now we're gonna debate and decide who.
Yeah.
Who's the ultimate streaming service?
Since we got 3 of us, it'll be best 2 or 3 for the vote to see who moves on.
Okay.
And do you want to? Should we go through the list of the rankings first, or do we just want to go for each matchup?
Let's just go by the matchup. We'll go in this blind.
All right.
That's how we go through our everyday lives.
So our first matchup is number 8 ranked Peacock versus number 9 ranked Shudder.
All right.
I'm gonna vote for Shudder on this one.
I'm gonna vote for Peacock on this one, just because I've not heard of Shudder.
Okay.
Ooh,
Shudder is
so I'm the deciding vote on this.
You
one.
are.
Oh,
this is
man.
pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we didn't rehearse this either. We're putting you on the spot.
Well, before you vote, I just want to tell Justin Shudder is a horror streaming service.
Oh.
Yeah. Did
Did
AMC buy them?
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like I might want to change my vote, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
All right. So Peacock is the NBC service.
Yes.
Yes, that I knew.
Which I've downloaded and I've used.
Yes.
Ooh.
How is that?
It's okay. It has made me upset because the things that I've wanted to watch on Peacock, because their whole thing is like, look how much we have for free.
Yeah.
Except for this stuff that's on a paywall.
Jesus.
This stuff that's behind a paywall.
Uh-huh.
And so I've gone to Peacock and almost everything I've wanted to watch is behind the paywall.
Of course.
I've kind of used Shudder. I think it used to be a lot more free than it is now.
It did. Yeah.
So I remember using it on the Xbox and watching some pretty seriously cheesy horror movies, but having fun with it.
Yeah.
But because Peacock has made me mad,
All right.
Shudder gets my vote.
Shudder's moving on. Okay.
Right. Good vote. Good vote. I'll agree with that.
Shudder is going to be facing Hulu
Ooh.
later on.
Oh, spoilers. I mean, not knowing what Shudder was, but had I known it was for, horror films and horror stuff, might have changed my vote a little.
All right.
Next up, we've got Apple TV Plus versus Tubi. Number 5th and number 12 ranked Tubi.
Okay.
Is anyone here familiar with Tubi?
I am.
Okay.
I have used Tubi to watch old cheesy movies. It's completely free, right?
It is completely free.
Yes. It's you have to watch ads.
Yes, it's all ad supported. Yes.
Which is weird because they'll take movies that were never meant to have ads in them and just cut ads into them.
Just chopping an ad.
And so sometimes the ads gets chopped into really weird places.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
All right.
Yeah.
Apple TV I have for free right now because I bought Jess an iPhone last year. So I watched Ted Lasso, which is amazing.
It's what is it?
That's the Bill Lawrence, the guy who created Scrubs and Spin City. It's the Jason Sudeikis series where there's a soccer team in England that decides to hire the guy who won the Division II football championship because she wants to destroy the team, and he ends up actually like figuring out how to, because he can coach people. He can't necessarily coach soccer, and figures out and turns around. It's a really good series.
Okay, cool.
There's a couple other things on there. I don't know if it's worth the money.
What is their subscription fee for that?
Got it.
We'll find out.
I'm gonna say $7.99. That's my guess. Do you want to put wager a guess?
$9.99.
All right. We'll make everything a game.
Hey, you might as well, right?
Yeah, that we can avoid dead air that way.
Yeah.
What is it? Apple
TV Plus.
I've also watched Mythic Quest.
Okay,
which is
that's an exclusive as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it's kind of like a behind the scenes of like this fake World of Warcraft game. And it's the guy from
It's Always Sunny guy. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
That was really funny.
Sweet.
A monthly subscription is $4.99 per month.
Wow.
After your free 7-day trial.
Well, that is not bad.
Oh, that might be one of those things that like once I'm up with my free, I'll cancel.
Yeah.
And then once I know the whole season it's Ted Lasso, I'll just pay the $4.99, watch the season,
and just cancel it.
It's
cancel it again.
Yeah.
Plus $5 a month or $50 for an annual.
That's not bad.
That's not terrible.
That's a pro, but Tubi is completely free.
Okay.
So what do we say here, folks?
I don't use either of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to put my vote probably for... Does Apple Plus... Is it like straight, no commercials?
Yeah.
I'm going to put my vote for Apple Plus on this one.
Okay.
I do know people who use it and they like it, but I've not used it myself.
I think Apple might take the victory.
Oh, boy. All right.
Where were you going to go, Jeremy?
Well... I was going to say Tubi just
because you should have jumped in.
It's free.
Just put the pressure on somebody.
But I guess Apple's moving on then.
Just jump in and put the pressure on somebody if you're like, nope, I'm going with the other one.
Well,
all right.
I didn't know. I really legit didn't know what direction he was going to be going in.
I mean, I do like free, but...
Well, it doesn't matter. Let's see, Apple.
Yeah, draw a picture of an apple. A picture and a plus.
All right.
All right, Jeremy, what you got for us next?
All right, next up, folks, we've got number 7th ranked HBO plus and Max combination.
All right.
And then number 10 ranked DC Universe.
I feel like this is actually going to be an easy one.
Yep. Yeah. This
is a sweep.
Okay.
Yeah, this might be a... well, for one reason...
it doesn't exist.
DC Universe doesn't exist anymore.
And a lot of the DC stuff is on HBO.
Yeah, and then they just and then they just when DC kind of died. Although DC Universe does exist, but it's just for like comic books and fan boards.
Well, so even the CW crap's not on there?
I think they pulled all the video content off of the DC Universe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the technical department does need to do a little more research, I guess.
So yeah, HBO there.
Yeah, that's just gonna move on.
Plus, I'm pretty sure it was gonna win anyway. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we are all gonna be voting for that.
Especially because a lot of the DC stuff that I like to watch is like a lot of the animated stuff is on HBO Max.
Yeah, that and HBO Max has Doctor Who and
Never seen it.
It's and then they got a whole bunch of all the HBO shows are there too. So
And they have the Justice League 4-hour movie.
Yeah.
All right, well that matchup went fast.
Yeah, it was quick.
All right.
Did that bust a lot of people's brackets, you think?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that one didn't.
All right, next up we got the battle of the 2P networks. We've got Paramount Plus versus Pluto TV. A 6 and an 11.
Oh.
This is another one where I don't really know anything about. I kind of know a little bit about Paramount Plus, but I don't know a lot about Pluto TV.
Well,
So Paramount Plus was CBS All Access until about 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
So it's got SpongeBob, which I know is a big thing for you guys.
Oh yeah.
We have it at my house so the CBS shows can get watched by someone other than me. I watch Pluto.
The dog or the cat?
The cat.
All right.
I watch Pluto a lot because I'll just put on when I don't feel like getting up and I got stuff to do on the computer or just need to waste time. They have Tosh.0 like just on complete loop.
Okay.
They also have MST3K. They got random movies. I know that I subscribe to Paramount Plus, but I know where my vote's going. I think I'm gonna pick the upset here. Going Pluto.
Ooh.
What are you going with there, Jeremy?
Oh, Justin, I think I want to give you the. Okay, well. I mean, I'm gonna kind of disrupt things here if I vote because I might have to give it to Pluto as well. But I'm torn. Before I actually give it the final vote, the one thing I'll say about Paramount Plus is that if they keep adding old school Nickelodeon stuff to it and rebooting Nickelodeon things, I might be swayed. Because I know they have all the rights now to that shit. So. But Pluto is comfort. It's a comfort streaming service. It's got your old favorites and the commercials, which make you feel like you're a kid again watching network and cable.
Yeah, it does really feel like you're watching cable.
Yeah.
You gotta flip through all the channels and. I mean, they do. They also had that James Bond. I don't know if they still have the James Bond channel where it was just all the old James Bond movies just on a constant loop.
Yeah. And they have they've got an Unsolved Mysteries one, which is always a joy to watch.
An Addams Family one.
Oh yeah.
Though I don't know if they change the channels all the time.
All right.
Yeah. But
they're constantly emailing me 3 new channels this month.
And what is that one like? Is that a free one?
That's free.
It's completely free. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to give it up to Pluto.
Not knowing anything about either of them until now, I would go with Pluto.
All right,
Like
Pluto
you were talking about,
sweep.
like the Mystery Science Theater on there, and the fact that it is free. And I mean, there's days where I'll just want to turn on like, if it wasn't Adams, is it the old TV show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would probably just turn that on as just background.
Yep. This is a perfect background streaming service.
Yep.
So many old classics on there.
Not knowing anything about it until Nicholas described it, I would go with Pluto.
Wow.
So the upset, Pluto takes down.
Unbelievable.
There's always one. There's always one.
Now that probably busted some people's brackets.
Yes.
I wonder if anyone at Paramount maybe tested positive for COVID.
Yeah. Default up.
Default.
All right. Well, next up now, we've got Shudder, number 9 ranked Shudder versus number 1 ranked Hulu. This is gonna be a tough one.
I mean, I know where I'm voting on it.
Okay.
I have a good idea where I'm going.
I'm gonna go ahead and since I haven't voted first in a while, I'm gonna give it to Shudder just to make things interesting. And as a horror fan, I feel like it's my obligation.
All right, who would you like to choose to
Let's hear yours.
I mean, obviously, I've been using Hulu for
Yeah.
close to a decade now.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm voting Hulu.
Plus, I mean, I think there's another reason that you like them so much. The fact that we haven't paid in.
Oh no, I pay for it now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I haven't. I did have a long stretch of time where I didn't pay for it. No.
That was nice.
I mean, I was kind of upset with them for a little bit with the Hulu Live thing.
Oh, that's right.
Just because, like, Hulu Live, like, I really liked, like, having all the live channels and being able to watch sports, but, man, the pricing of the Hulu Live just went nuts.
And
the
watch list, too, you were upset with.
Yeah, well, that was just because I don't like change.
Who does?
I hear ya. Yeah.
Now that I know how to use watch list, and it doesn't, they changed my queue to to watch list, and I don't even remember what queue looked like now.
Yeah, it's been so long at this point.
But yeah, my vote goes Hulu.
Okay.
Even though I was mad at the Hulu Live thing, just Hulu for me has way more to offer for me personally. Than Shudder does.
Yeah. Justin, you're the deciding vote.
I mean, since I haven't heard of Shudder until like 10, 15 minutes ago, I'm gonna go with Hulu. I use Hulu a lot, especially with like the random hours that I work. So like I watch a lot of the shows the next day on there. So that's where I watch. That's where actually the only TV I have besides a couple of these other ones is Hulu. That's the primary one I use.
I can say it's a very rare day that I don't turn Hulu on for some period of time.
Like I use it on my phone at work on lunch. I watch stuff on Hulu.
Right on. What's your favorite Hulu show?
Is it like a Hulu exclusive or just something?
Yeah, favorite Hulu exclusive.
God, I don't know how many Hulu exclusives I watch.
Quick Draw.
Okay. I haven't seen that one.
I don't know if
I've heard it's funny.
I don't know if I watch any of that many Hulu exclusives.
You had to say I don't really watch a lot of the Hulu exclusives. Yeah. That's just the first one that came to mind.
I was gonna say Deadbeats. Was that a Hulu exclusive?
Oh, that might have been. That was really funny.
The first 2 seasons were good.
Yeah, that is true.
The third one kind of tanked.
I don't remember that one
entirely.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't remember that one?
I don't.
That was the Tyler Labine Can See Ghosts.
Oh yeah. Okay, well, Hulu's moving on. Unsurprisingly, I guess.
It's hard to take down on one seed.
Yeah, it is. All right, next up we've got Disney Plus versus Apple Plus. Battle of the Pluses.
All right. I guess I'll go on this one. I'm probably going to go with, well, not probably, for surely, I'm going with Disney Plus. It's got, a lot of the Marvel stuff's on there. That gets watched a lot. The old classic Disney, especially with the little one. Would you call her little at this point? At 7?
Yeah.
All right. With the little big kid.
Yeah.
Loves watching Disney Plus. It's on most of the time. If she's watching anything, it's on there. So I'm going to go with Disney Plus on this one. Gets used the most. Plus, I'm watching a lot of those old Disney movies. It's just like a childhood feel to it.
Yeah. I think we kind of know what's going to happen, but why don't you weigh in first?
Listen, it's got Star Wars. It's got Marvel.
Yeah. I mean, what else really can we...
I mean...
What seed is that? A 4?
It's a 4 seed. Yeah.
I would say that Disney Plus, at least right now, because of Clone Wars, is getting watched more than Hulu.
Yeah.
But I'm giving it to Disney Plus because here Disney Plus went up $1 this month, and I was like, yeah, whatever. If Apple Plus, like when I have to start paying for Apple Plus, I'm canceling that one. So,
boom.
What? $1? $6? Jeremy?
I wholeheartedly agree with both of you. Disney Plus, bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you add? I mean, it's got the original programming is gonna just keep getting better.
It's also got Simpsons.
In the Simpsons.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about the Simpsons. Yeah.
I heard about this other thing too from Disney Plus. I was watching an ad for one of those VPNs. You know, like how they have like NordVPN and all that crap for like a YouTube video. Yeah. So they were talking about like in different foreign versions of Disney Plus, they're experimenting with like adding like real movies and other shit to it. Like you can hit like the star feature.
Yeah, they're in other countries, not the U.S. It's called like Star Plus or Disney Star. And like Scrubs and a bunch like all the ABC stuff and those like they have not adult content and like not like adult content being like
like. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Not pornography.
Yeah.
Content.
Adult content, you say?
Adult content isn't like the stuff that doesn't get aired on TV until like after 8:00.
Right.
Okay.
I found that to be pretty interesting. You think that'll ever come over to the
No, because Disney owns a good chunk of Hulu. So there's no. I mean, and maybe one day we'll see a Disney Hulu like mashed together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
And so. That's kind of worrisome.
Yeah.
Hope not. All right, next matchup we got here is Netflix number 2 seed. I know it's kind of controversial ranking them number 2, but I mean they've been around so long. I felt like I just had to give it to them based on seniority.
Right.
Okay.
And so they're versing a number 7 seed HBO Max /Plus. Well, I'll give mine right away since I went last time. I'm going to go for Netflix just because, like I said, they've been around. They're a giant. Some of the original programming early on was awesome. Daredevil comes to mind. Some of the shows they brought back. BoJack Horseman, one of my favorite shows of all time. So, Netflix it is. But if they keep raising their subscription fee, they're getting dangerously close to getting off my list. But the sharing thing has been working out nicely.
Yeah.
Until they get rid of that, too. So, yeah, Netflix.
Who, me or you? I know which one I'm going with already.
I recency bias, I think, steps in here for me. And I've spent a lot more time watching HBO Max recently. Watching some of their older movies as well as just being able to watch some of the superhero stuff. Right now, because I've just been watching it more, I would say I'm going to vote HBO.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure on me.
Ooh, this is heavy, man.
Oh, Jesus.
You could really mess with a lot of people's brackets again.
I think I'm going to bust a few brackets. God damn.
Come on, Lights. That's probably because it's in a power strip.
I'm going to go with HBO Max. I haven't been using a lot of Netflix.
Wow.
There's not a whole lot of original stuff on Netflix I've been watching. Like, I don't even know the last time I used Netflix, honestly.
Daredevil?
Yeah, how long ago was that, though? Daredevil, Punisher.
Like 5 years.
I like that stuff, but I watch a lot more HBO Max, especially with the, WB agreement they have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of that, plus they keep adding. They've got all the Batman animated series.
Wow. Yeah.
I've been watching that. I'm going HBO Max on this one.
Unbelievable. The king of the streaming services has lost his throne.
I mean, if it was the king, it would be the number 1 seed.
Okay, fair enough.
But I don't want to crush your dreams, Jeremy. But
second king.
I'm going with HBO Max on that one.
HBO Max is moving on.
Are any of these surprising to you, Jeremy?
I am surprised by this here.
I see you writing it. You're kind of like, I don't want to write this.
But I understand it. I do. Because like Netflix is like, they've lost their way.
I mean, I don't pay for either of those streaming services.
Oh, well, that helps too.
Because I just use someone else's.
Uh-huh.
But, I mean, I don't pay for most of my streaming services, to be honest with you.
They're looking to change that.
I know.
They want to crack down on that. But hopefully not too soon.
I'll go with HBO Max.
Hopefully they don't. I mean, part of me thinks they should listen to this podcast because they need to go, oh man, we've lost our way. But another part of me hopes they don't because...
Oh man, these cheap mother...
because we have an agreement that was worked out really beneficially for us.
Yeah, very long standing too.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
It's like grandfathered in at this point.
Yeah,
they can't touch it.
They really, they shouldn't be able
Yeah.
to.
We will stop advertising for them.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start
They need
advertising.
us.
We'll start advertising, and then we're going to stop.
So next up, we've got Prime versus Pluto. Amazon Prime streaming service versus Pluto TV. This could be a big upset. This could be a big one because, well, I'll let you. Why don't you go first?
All right, I'm going to go with Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I mean, it has some of the older shows. I do watch a lot of stuff on there. I watch a couple movies because they do get some of those like exclusive rights to the movies. Like I think that's where I watched Jay and Silent Bob the reboot. It was
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
I know they have all the seasons of Psych, Monk, Gary Busey, Pet Judge.
I thought Psych moved over to Peacock.
The new Psych, whatever you want to call that, the relaunch.
Oh.
But they still have the original 8 or 9 seasons.
Oh, okay, I've still never watched that show.
Oh, it's so good. I watched that show. Is up there with Scrubs for I've probably watched the entire series 7, 8
Wow.
or more.
I'll have to check that one out too.
You don't
Yeah,
watch
what is
Scrubs either?
Mm-mm.
Or Psych?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
It's good. I don't like the later seasons when it's wrapping up.
Yeah.
Because you know it's coming to an end and I know what's happening, having watched it so many times. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Amazon.
All right. Okay.
Oh man, that's a tough one because, I mean, I have Prime in so much as that I also have side agreements with other people, not just you.
It's got side hustle all over the place.
Jeez.
I maybe have given somebody who might go by the name Mom my Disney Plus password for access to her Amazon Prime.
Okay. Okay.
And like so with Prime, like I watched The Boys, which is an amazing show.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay.
it's so good.
Is that the superhero one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. That's a good show.
And then I've watched a few movies here or there on Prime. So I often forget that I have access to it.
Mm-hmm. Same. Yeah. I keep getting reminders from them every once in a while.
I might actually go Pluto.
Wow.
Wow.
Mainly because I feel like I use Pluto more often.
Okay. Wow. Interesting.
Jeremy,
That's a tough spot.
there
to be
is some pressure.
in. Well, the thing about Prime is that they've got really good original movies, and they keep getting better. I feel like year by year. Like, I mean, they actually have some Academy Award nominations again this year.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll talk about that. But wow, Pluto is a really, really good comfort network. And like you said, I agree with you. I forget I have Prime sometimes too, and I use Pluto a lot. So, am I really going to give it to Pluto? I think I might be giving it to Pluto for the upset. Sorry,
Man.
Prime.
Man, the upset side bracket is coming.
Yeah.
Oh,
So here we go.
Wow.
man.
Make it a little interesting this year.
Yeah.
Oh.
An 11 versus a 7. All right. So,
Crazy.
next up, we got Hulu versus Disney Plus. This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
I'll go first on this one, I guess.
All
right.
since I haven't in a while. Well, Disney Plus is going to continue to get better and add more original programming this year, which is going to be fucking amazing. I can only imagine just based on the last 2 things I've seen. I'm really interested to see what they've got for the Marvel side of things. Hulu's good. They need to fix their user interface on some of the old software for the smart TVs, but otherwise they're a good service. I'm giving it to Disney Plus, so I don't keep rambling about both of them.
That's fine. You keep rambling. I'm gonna cut you off, Nicholas, before you even start, because I'm going with Hulu.
Ooh.
I use Hulu pretty much daily. That's where I watch all my stuff. Plus, I do unfortunately pay for Live, because I don't get any reception by me, even with an antenna and a booster. I get nothing. So Hulu is where I go to watch my sports. Except they need to fix their agreement with FS so I can watch Brewers and Bucks. But even that being said, I'm sticking with Hulu. I use that the most out of all of these services. And yeah, I catch up on a lot of shows the next day.
All right, so I have to sit here and I have to weigh them out.
That's why I was like, I'm going to jump ahead. I'm going to put you in this spot, knowing I disagreed with Jeremy just to make you...
to make me be the deciding vote?
All right, to make you... God damn it. To make you be the bad guy.
These are the two streaming services I use the most. Hands down, they're the two I use the most. I think I have to go with the criteria of, if it came down to it, and I only had the money to pay for one streaming service, which one would I choose? Man, even using that, like, this is a tough decision, because Hulu has all of the modern shows and the stuff that I watch the day after, and Disney has all of the other stuff. But if I had to choose and I had to only pay for one streaming service, Disney.
Wow.
Oh,
Disney's moving on.
My bracket is completely busted.
What gave it the edge?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Wow.
Followed very closely by Marvel.
I might have to hand in my resignation letter here pretty soon.
But that being said, like, if these two were not facing each other, like if Hulu was down in the other bracket, Hulu would guaranteed win against the other two. So
for me, Disney Plus would win against the other two.
Yeah, they would win against the other two as well.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because those two are facing each other, and I had to pick between those two.
Yeah.
Getting hit in all kinds of my feels.
And speaking of the other two,
all right, we got number 7 seed HBO Max / Plus coming in against number 11 seed Pluto TV. Is that what it's called, Pluto TV?
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right, I learned something today. Now I forgot where I live. I'm just gonna stay here.
Well, I'll let you guys take this one to start.
I guess it's been a while since I've gone first.
All right.
Yeah, we like to put you on the bubble.
Man, this one's tough. Oh, geez, I don't. I mean, I do like that the HBO, I can watch all that stuff without the commercials, and I do really hate the commercials. And Pluto doesn't have good commercials. They've got, and they tend to show like the same commercial.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, I guess, if I use the same criteria that I used on the last one, Pluto's obviously free, but if for whatever reason, like my Roku was like, you can only have one of these two things on.
Mm-hmm.
If you I think I would choose HBO.
Okay.
What you got?
Well, just to put you on the spot, I'm going to jump in and say Pluto then, yeah.
Just to put me on the spot, you have reasons?
I do have reasons.
Okay.
Again, it just goes back to the comfort thing, and just the fact that I really don't watch a lot of HBO Max or Plus, so, I mean, yeah, simply that.
Well, it's not too difficult for me on this one, considering I've never used Pluto. I do use HBO Max. I like the stuff they have on there. Like the, day one streaming for movies. I do watch a lot of the other shows on there too. I think they still have all the Game of Thrones on there as well. I'm going with HBO Max. Not quite an upset, but
yeah, it's about as expected.
We're there before
we
get to the final showdown. Were there any other streaming services that should be on honorable mention that you could think of that weren't put on Jeremy's bracket?
Would you put like MLB TV on there as a streaming service, or is that just a whole another thing. All
I think that's just the network. I don't think I would do Red Zone, MLB, NHL.
You could have a separate bracket for all the specific ones.
Yeah.
So like network specific, like this is just the CW. Like
Well, I mean, you got.
Yeah, I do have some network, but they're like the very popular network
Yeah.
specific ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a lot more streaming services that we don't have on there
Oh yeah.
Tons.
that are super popular. I know, like, I think it's VRV.
Yeah.
I use that one. There's some.
VRV. What's that?
It's
one?
like video game streaming and stuff
Oh,
like that.
yeah.
I do use that one. You know, it's not that popular, but there's
I
a
guess-
couple
yeah, I guess like-
couple things on there I like.
Like then that would also put Twitch up there somewhere. Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a streaming thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to give a shout out to VRV with some of their stuff they do.
Yeah. Do they sponsor us now?
I'll get on the horn.
It'd be awesome if they did.
I mean, I never use it and probably never would, but I know Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, for
That-
anime.
Yeah.
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 This is I'm not an anime fan.
Yeah.
So,
The thing I don't like with Crunchyroll and VRV, to go into the anime side of things, granted I don't watch a lot of anime, but I've been looking for like the Dragon Ball Z series because I want to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not on any of those. If that was on there, maybe I
I'm
would.
surprised it's not.
Yeah,
That's weird.
One of them might have it subtitled, but it's not like all of it. It's just like here's a couple from this, a couple from this.
Yeah. Huh. Alright, well, yeah, some honorable mentions.
I don't know if you. That's.
I don't think I can think of really anymore. I mean, there's tons of them, like on the Roku thing. When you look at like all the third-party apps, it's just like
Doesn't Roku also have its own streaming thing too?
yeah.
yeah.
And until recently, I was watching the Batman series, the '66 Batman series through
Nice.
that, but then they took it off. But it
Not nice.
Well, who has it now? It was like Fossum or America too. I don't know. So one of those very similar to Tubi, in that like it's free, but it makes you watch commercials. Like and they just have a bunch of random old movies and TV shows. I mean, there's so many of those. You got like Popcorn Flicks and
Oh yeah.
Snag Flicks. And,
Yeah.
Wasn't there another horror one too that was on the Xbox? It was like
Oh yeah.
yeah, I don't remember.
I mean, when you go through, like you said, go onto the Roku, get your Roku, go down to like search streaming services.
yeah.
And like just read the and you want to watch one based solely on being like a redheaded lesbian goat yoga enthusiast. There's a channel for you.
All right.
Damn, gotta throw out that note card.
Yeah. Oh, but you could even probably put Voodoo on there too.
Oh yeah, Voodoo. Yeah.
That's a lot of the stuff you own though, but they do have their own
Yeah.
movies with ads.
Yeah.
So would that put? Because I know Redbox has started doing their own like free channels, but they also stream.
Jeez, everyone's getting involved in this.
Ah,
Gee.
Right. Well, but I've also noticed with like a lot of the free channels on Redbox, it's not entirely different than like Pluto
Oh yeah.
or some of the other ones that have the free channels. Like,
Yeah.
It's just
Some of that stuff must be just really easy to acquire.
yeah.
'Cause you see, like you said, a lot of repeating.
Hmm.
Huh. What was the other one that like didn't last very long at all? It was like bite something, like bite size or something. Or
Oh, Quibi.
Quibi, quick bites. Yeah, Quibi.
Quibi didn't last very.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we've ever talked about this. This is a new story.
All right.
So there's a website that they email me all the time. GoFobo. Yeah. And they have contests like all the time. They got contests, and you just put in your email, and like some of them are like, oh, you win this DVD copy of this movie, or win a pillow, or some of them are really cool.
Win something from my closet.
Right, some of it's that. Some of it literally is like, I think this guy is just like cleaning out his closet. But one of the contests was because who was it? Somebody was doing. I think it was Sam Raimi was doing like 50 States of Horror for Quibi. He was going to be doing a bunch of like horror, like 50 different horror movies, but like real short ones based on each individual state.
All right.
That sounds interesting.
I think it was Raimi, but so I entered a contest to win. I basically enter all the contests because what somebody's got to win, right?
Yeah, why not you?
But I actually won. I was going to win a year subscription to Quibi and like a T-shirt for the 50 States of Fear.
Wow.
2 days after that, Quibi goes live with the announcement of we are folding. We are shutting down like immediately, basically.
Wow.
Like they didn't even go, we're going to honor our commitments to the end of the year. Quibi was basically like,
we're done.
We're out. We're peace.
Do you take blame for that? Like you just won this free year, and then they're like, we're out.
You broke Quibi.
This guy.
You were the last nail in the coffin.
I broke. Well, I was. I mean, see, that's the thing. Like Quibi really missed out because they would have given me a free year's worth of talking about them on the podcast.
True. Yeah.
But because it died, I never got the package. Like I never got the shirt, let alone the like. So part of me was
I want my shirt.
I mean, it was a shirt that I wasn't going to be able to wear because guaranteed it wasn't going to be big enough. But
not big man friendly.
Nobody is really.
I don't know. Gabriel Iglesias might be.
Well, yeah, that is true. But so I never got my prize because by the time they had said they were going to mail it out, Quibi died, so they just didn't send it to me. So like 2 or 3 weeks later, I emailed them and I was like, "Hey, like, I know that Quibi's dead, so that part of the prize is gone. Do you guys offer like an alternate prize, or is there some sort of like
where is my shirt?
A gift certificate, or just can I at least get the card that would say that I was gonna have Quibi for a year? So
Congratulations!
That I can frame it and be like, look what I won and never got to use.
Congratulations, you win.
And the guy emailed me back with like, well, we'll look into it, but all our contests, like we are just an aggregate for the contest, like they're run through third party, and I never heard back from him.
That sounds like polite way of saying go screw yourself.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, that was like I finally won something. Yeah. Wait, what?
We're done.
It was like way to take my joy of like I finally won a contest.
So sad. The rug was pulled out so quickly,
and then just like yoink! Oh, motherfucker! No!
Oh man, that's terrible. The shirt would have been cool.
I probably would have given it to one of you two.
The whole concept of that series sounds like cool. Like
Although,
a cool idea.
Maybe worth stealing.
Roku did buy all of the content for Quibi.
Oh, so it could still be coming in something.
So because there was a lot of content they hadn't put out yet.
Oh.
Plus there was just go back and look through the list of Quibi content of like the sheer amount of famous people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure because I forgot the Quibi. We could probably do an entire series on just the downfall of Quibi.
I'd be down. I'd be interested in that.
I'd have to do a lot of research on that one.
I'd have to do a little bit more, but there's too much famous people and too much money that was involved in going into Quibi. So when it failed, like a lot of these content creators were like, it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Roku has just not decided how they're gonna handle how they're gonna put it out. Like I don't know if they're just gonna put it on the Roku channel or start a whole other Quibi channel.
Yeah. Oh well. We'll pour one out for Quibi and for your hopes and dreams of your prizes.
But I keep entering contests on that website, hoping that somehow I'm not disqualified because I won.
All right.
Anyway.
So we got our final showdown here. We'll go back to our brackets and Disney Plus number 4 versus HBO Max /Plus number 7.
I didn't see us getting here.
No, I did not at all. But I think a lot of it has to do with my rankings, and maybe there were some disagreements in how that was put out. Because we could have had a lot of different matchups based on those rankings.
Well, yeah, but you could sit here and argue that with any bracket-based system.
That's true. You could have just pulled them all out of a hat and been like, you're 1, you're 2, you're 3.
Well, I actually am interested to hear how you guys would have ranked them after we're done with this. So,
Oh God. Okay.
Do you want me to start, or how do you guys want to do this last final?
I don't know.
How about you start?
All right.
Because I think I know what you're going to pick, but I'm not
I
sure.
think I know where he's going to.
I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I think I know where you're both going.
Yeah.
I mean, but basically, this now comes down to DC versus Marvel.
Yeah.
I am a Marvel zombie. I'm not a DC kid. I love Batman, but Marvel is my true passion. I could live without the DC stuff. I enjoy HBO Max, and I would be ashamed to lose it. But I think of all the streaming services, like gun to head said I'm only allowed to keep one. I think I'm going Disney. I think I'm going to keep Disney Plus.
All right.
Justin.
I'm going with the opposite. I'm going with the upset with HBO Max. I mean, it's got a lot of mostly the DC animated stuff on there. Like, I didn't watch for like Disney Plus. I do enjoy, the WandaVision and the stuff that's coming out currently.
It's got the original 90s X-Men.
I didn't really watch that growing up. All of the Marvel movies, the superhero stuff, I own, so I could watch those if I wanted to go back and rewatch them. But I would go with HBO Max. I enjoy all of the animated DC. It's got the Batman movies. Granted, I don't know those two. But I'm going with HBO Max, just for my own self, even though I have a feeling it's not where it's going to go.
I don't think you're going to be seeing HBO Max moving on.
I didn't think I would either. As soon as I seen that matchup, I was like, I'm the odd man out in this.
It's going to have to be Disney Plus for me.
I handed my resignation letter.
So Disney Plus is the king of the streaming service.
I'm a little shocked by that. It's a newcomer to with all the big boys.
Thanks, Marvel.
Actually, HBO Max is a relatively...
That's true.
I mean, HBO... Although, I thought that was weird when HBO did that. They're like, we're going to start... Because we've got HBO and HBO... Was it Go or
Go.
HBO? Yeah,
There's
HBO
Go.
We're going to start HBO Max. Why are you starting another streaming service? Like, you already had... And so I think... Like, they just started one to start one? I don't know. But,
Yeah.
but Disney, I like the user interface of Disney.
I agree.
I think that, they've gotten... I mean, I think they definitely took some from what they learned with Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
They borrowed a little bit of column A, a little column B, and kind of did their own thing, but I like, I like the way they have it broken down with Disney, Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, National Geographic.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see them do a little bit more stuff with Lucasfilm,
Mm-hmm.
since they bought Star Wars. They've got other stuff that they could, but I mean, I could just sit down and watch Disney movies over other stuff, so I'm not surprised. I mean,
It's a very strong service.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you too on that user interface. It's just really clean and it's
Well, that's
very
what-
well organized.
That's what's honestly to me. I mean, other than just poor offerings, I think that's what killed DC. I
Yeah.
mean, that user interface on DC Universe was so bad
Yeah.
and so hard to get around and
Yeah.
figure out stuff.
Like the Yahoo Screen one too.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, congrats Disney Plus.
All right.
So we've just given a bunch of streaming services a shit ton of free advertising.
Yeah. Now where's our
And
money?
now we know which one we're going with, so we know which one's going to be
So Disney Plus.
payrolling this podcast.
Yep. We decided that
Yeah,
we'd
we,
like
just,
to
we
have
decided of all of the contracts presented for us based on these streaming services, we know which one
So-
we're going to pen to
So
paper.
the one streaming service that we would guarantee never actually be streamed on because some of us can't watch our language.
You?
Ah, well.
I did good this episode. I was very...
Yeah.
That's very PG.
Yeah. I think I kept it pretty
Yeah,
clean.
I think they only F-bomb came out of you today.
Ah, well, that's entirely possible. Yeah, we would never make it on that streaming service, but yet we have declared it to be the king. So.
Well, not we. I guess, yeah, majority.
Well,
votes.
majority of us.
Majority
have.
rules.
And what would be your second choice if not HBO Max out of all?
Well,
actually, what would be your first choices?
Well, looking at how you have it, kind of, I would leave a lot of your rankings the same because I don't know them.
Mm-hmm.
I would keep Hulu 1, 2. What do you have for 2?
Netflix.
I did Netflix.
I wouldn't put Netflix 2. I'd probably do Disney Plus 2 because it does get used a lot. Amazon Prime I might do 3. Netflix might be 4 because it's probably one of the least ones I use.
Mm-hmm.
HBO might be 5. I don't use Apple, but otherwise I'd leave most of them. I'd probably just, if I changed anything in the top 5, Hulu would stay, Disney would go to 2, Amazon 3, Netflix 4, HBO 5. Probably the road I go.
I might leave most of the rankings the same. Disney, I think I would have left it 4 as well. I mean, obviously they ended up winning, but based off your criteria of newness and Disney is kind of new to the game.
Yeah.
And the other ones are a little older, more established.
Yeah.
I might put Shudder down where DC Universe was. And
I might get rid of DC Universe altogether.
Yeah, what would we plug in instead of DC Universe?
I don't know.
Fire TV, is that a streaming thing?
No,
Is that
that's
just
like
a
a
stick?
that's
I don't know.
stick.
I don't know.
That's like Roku. It just provides all of those.
Okay.
Who do I get emails from all the time? I get emails from streaming services all
How
the
about
time.
we put Voodoo in there?
Okay, let's do Voodoo in there.
Granted, that's
It would still pretty much be the same outcome.
yeah, it's still got clobbered.
Yeah. Well, that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a whole Canopy.
Oh yeah.
Some of those other more, whatever they are, streaming services that but.
If we ever are scraping the bottom of the barrel, we'll do all the obscure streaming ones on another bracket, and then they can face off.
Even if we're not scraping the bottom, this was a fun little discussion.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like this needs to be done with us here.
Yeah,
Yes.
this would have been rough online.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's obviously we can do this with other.
Yeah.
This bracket, we might just have to make it a monthly or a bi-month.
Yeah.
Not bi-month. Does bi-monthly mean twice a month or every 2 months?
I think it's
That's twice
a
a month.
month.
Okay, so
Yeah.
not bi-monthly. Like quarterly?
So that'd be like one every 3
Quarterly
months.
is good.
Yeah, quarterly. Just so we don't have
Just to break it
And
up
if-
a little bit.
Are we going to try to keep the same number of what do you want to call those rosters? Slots?
Well, we can do however many we want, I guess.
Because that's even something. If we're like, hey, we're going to do this episode, Nicholas, come up with your tournament.
Yeah. Like we can do whatever order or number.
And you could just be like, all right, we're doing a tournament right now on
Anything.
Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
All
This
right.
could be some foreshadowing too for maybe some October content.
All right.
Ah.
Proof of concept. I think this worked pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a good flow. Like we were all
Alright.
just
Well,
We'll tease next week by going next week. We'll actually discuss the Oscar nominations.
will we?
some of us.
Oh,
You can at least look up and see who was nominated and go, never heard of that movie, never heard of that movie, never heard of that movie.
I will look it up and I'll see if any of these are on these streaming services that we have just discussed and that don't shatter my dreams in this last episode, and I'll watch them. But probably not really.
Of the movies that were nominated for Best Picture,
Don't shatter my dreams.
2 or 3 of them on Netflix.
Oh.
1 is on Prime.
Ooh.
And I think they've already threw a couple onto Hulu.
Ooh.
Like most of them are actually
Ooh.
like watchable right now.
Ooh.
Here we go. I know what I'm going to do. Not really. But
Well, I'm not going to
Think about doing.
I'm not going to shatter your dreams other than to say, before you say you're going to watch some of them, find out what's nominated.
oh,
Yeah.
all right. I'd rather do the Razzies.
Yeah. Now that's a contest I can really get behind.
Yeah. Wait till I bring my Adam Sandler bracket.
Oh hell yes.
Oh, that could be a fun bracket. Because there will be some real hardcore debates on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That could get heated.
Just so you know, when I do my bracket, it's Adam Sandler.
I love it.
So I guess America, stupid never walks alone.